Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the May 31st Daily Inspirational Message, the condensed version. It's 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and then make a couple comments on the message. And if you find the message of use, please be so kind as to like the video or even subscribe. That would be lovely. Thank you for that. Here we go. The title: Freeing Ourselves from the Burden of Judgment. Paragraph 1. You're here to help create a less judgmental experience and world. Thus, you have brought into your life individuals, situations, and opportunities that are here to teach you how to free yourself from the burden of judgment. It is forgiveness that frees you from the burden of judgment. Yes, every time your ego tries to convince you to judge yourself or others, what is really happening is that the universe is bringing into your life opportunities through forgiveness to free yourself from a mindset that imprisons you in the ego's world. It accomplishes this by manifesting your thoughts and feelings into physical form. This way, it becomes easier for you to see the false beliefs hidden within you that are separating you from the state of peace and non-judgment. Paragraph 2. Today, if the ego demands that we judge ourselves or others, let us recall that we have free will. Then, let us confidently and calmly deny the ego's demands. Now, knowing that the ego's judgment-centered roads do not lead us to the state of peace, let us look for a wiser and more loving advisor. Whereas the ego's judgment-centered programs lead us to confusion and chaos, God's loving expression of forgiveness leads us to clarity and peace. Aligned with love, we can now thank the ego for being a part of our sacred process that realigned our awareness to the divine. Aligned with the divine, we can now forgive all those who we were once programmed by the ego to judge. Now, we can see them as a sacred part of our awakening process. Now, our past judgments of them can turn into gratitude, which then leads us back to the state of peace and non-judgment. All right. Freeing ourselves from the burden of judgment. Okay, today I'm going to make 5 points that I trust will assist both of us in digesting this message and being able to implement it today. Point number 1. We're working on letting go of judgment. Okay. Imagine you're a child and you love fairy tales. And so your mother or your father reads you a certain fairy tale over and over again. Sooner or later, you start to believe that this fairy tale is true. And so you see, that fairy tale is never true, but you start to believe it's true. So you start to act upon it as it is true. And so, same goes with judgment. The only truth in you is the love that God created you to be, and all of love's expressions that you're here to express in your own unique ways. That's the only truth about you. Now, because we live in this world of duality, where there seems to be an opposition to love, light. We get programmed into judging ourselves and others. And so frustration is a form of judgment. Anger is a form of judgment. Fear is a form of judgment. And so you see, you judge self and others, not because that's the truth in you who's experiencing this world. It's just a little child in you who still believes the fantasy is true. And today we start to let go of that fantasy. We start to unburden ourselves from the fantasy of judgment. So that's point number 1. You only believe in judgment, you only act with judgment of self and others because you've been taught it as a proper and correct response to your brothers and sisters who are God's creations. Okay, that's point number 1. Point number 2. it's useful to notice which fantasies we're carrying within us. And so it's useful when you start to judge a person in traffic, or a person being too slow, or saying something that you don't like. Notice that. Notice that you have that fantasy of judgment inside of you that you support, that you keep supporting as true. And so it's reinforced and strengthened within you. And so the more support your judgments of self or others as true, the more you think, this is a proper way of living in this world. And within the fairy tale, it might be proper, but within the truth in you, it is simply a lie. It is a deception of society. It is a fantasy we have been taught as true. And so whenever you start to feel judgment of self and others, anger, hate, guilt, resentment, shame, just note, okay, I'm feeling those feelings. Those feelings are not a part of the truth in me, which is the love that God created. Therefore, those feelings and emotions must be something that I've been programmed to believe as true, and that I'm now supporting as true. And thus why I'm using it in this world. But they're not true. They're not me. They're just a part of the story of this world, of the ego's world. They're not what I came here to be and share. Only what I came here to be and share is the love that God created me to be. Okay, that's point number 2. Don't punish yourself when you're stuck in that story, in the fantasy. Just notice it and remember that's not the truth in you, but you can let it go. Point number 3. Let us remember that our brothers and sisters in the situations out there in our experience is defined through us. And so we're defining the experience. The experience is not so much happening, although it is, but it's not what's happening out there that affects you. It's how you define the experience that affects you. And so whenever the people come into your life and you judge them, or you hate them, or you're resentful to them, or you feel guilt or shame because of them, remember, they're simply here to show you your internal condition. They're simply here to show you that you're supporting something within you that's not true. That's not the truth in you. And so if you see them now as simply helping you rediscover what's not true about you, your response to them becomes gratitude, because they're simply showing you the burden of judgment that you're carrying within. And so thank you. Thank you, brother, for showing me that I'm carrying within the burden of judgment and frustration. Thank you, sister, for showing me that I'm carrying the burdens of fear and anxiousness and worry and doubt. Oh, thank you. I'm believing them as true. That's why I'm experiencing them in myself and others. And so, and point number 3, let us offer our gratitude to our brothers and sisters, because there's just simply an external projection of our internal condition. That's point number 3. Point number 4, knowing point number 3, let us offer our gratitude to our brothers and sisters and practice responding to our brothers and sisters, practice responding to every situation and an interaction with, instead of judgment, as the ego has programmed us to do, with gratitude. Let us practice offering gratitude. Okay, the ego speaks first and loudest because it's our program. So situation A happens and you judge your brother and sister. Okay, stop that. You judged because that's just your programming. Don't invest any more of your time, focus, and energy into the programming. Stop it. And therefore, that programming begins to lose its energy and time and expansion in your life. It begins to decrease. And instead of judging your brother and sister, immediately practice thanking them. Oh, you don't have to do this verbally, but internally you can do it. Oh, thank you. You're showing me that I was carrying within me the belief that judging one of God's creations as less than divine is a proper and normal response to you. And that belief is not gonna take me anywhere near the state of peace and non-judgment. Therefore, I release that delusion through forgiveness. I forgive you, and I forgive myself for my misperceptions. And by doing so, I align with the state of non-judgment, with the mind of God, with love, with peace. And then we go to point number 5, which is we act from the place of peace. We act from the place of non-judgment. And so after we've been grateful to our brothers and sisters, after we've realigned with who we truly are, the peace and joy of God within us, the love within us, the light within us, then we act from this place, from the place of non-judgment, from the place that where we're freed from the burdens of the ego's programming and fantasies and fairy tales and the deceptions and the delusions of the ego's mindset. And from here, we offer only that love, that peace, that non-judgment to our brothers and sisters, that recognition that they're here for us. They're here to help us recall who we really are, and then to be able to offer them that to them. So what we offer them, when we offer them that forgiveness, that compassion, that kindness, that generosity, that charity, when we help them find peace and joy, that gets reinforced within us. And the more it gets reinforced within us, the less we need to judge our brothers and sisters or this world. And the more grateful we become to our brothers and sisters in this world. And the more attached we become to non-judgment. And the more fulfilled we feel, because that's who God created us to do. And that's who God created us to be and share. To be that light within the darkness. That non-judgment within a world of judgment. And so, in point number 5, we just act from a place of non-judgment. All right. I hope that was of use to you. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you can be so kind as to like this video, it will help with the listening process. And if you would like to leave me a question, I would be delighted to try and offer a response. And God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.